and welcome back to that Gen X Friend podcast. Before I start, I want to give a shout out to MB Radio for giving me a platform to continue sharing my voice. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So today's topic is about wanting to squirrel. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the lingo. I think I remember learning this from the movie Up. Remember, if you guys saw it, there was a dog that was able to talk because he had his collar on, and he will be doing something. All of a sudden, he sees a squirrel and goes, "Squirrel!" and he just goes off, right? Instead of doing what he originally set out to do. So that's the topic I wanted to cover today because, man, I'm always squirreling. Like it could be like the wind blowing, right? Like right now, my nose is really itchy because allergies, but it could be anything. Like I could be like doing something like, oh my god, my nose is really itchy. I go find Kleenex, then all of a sudden I'm scrolling. I I don't go back to what I was doing. I don't know. I'm just doing random things, and then like, oh, like 20 minutes later, however many minutes later, I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? I got to go back to do this thing, and this is a constant battle for me. Um, you know, I it's kind of funny because when we're children, it's almost expected that we sort of it's expected or more accepted that we're more squirrely. So, man, that was easy. I wish I wish someone would have told me uh, when I was growing up that this is to stay on track, or maybe taught me how to stay on track, because or given me options on how to stay on track instead of just some people are very strict. They're like, oh, you do this and you that's it, and they don't give you an opportunity to learn, but rather they sort of handcuff you or put you into this track that without you understanding why they're telling you to do what you do. So that's what I came to discuss. I've been scrolling as long as I can remember, but it has been more detrimental during as I grew up, as I've become an adult, especially as an adult, because life comes at you in 100 different ways all the time. It doesn't matter. Like currently, I'm going through a period of transition. For people who do not know, I'm downsizing, I'm moving, selling a house. So obviously, for those who've moved before, sorry about that. That was my fur baby who just go sit. See, so even if you're trying to stay on track, there are things that comes with life that squirrel, right? So as I've grown older, especially now, there's so many things begging me to do it right now because it has to be right now. And you're like, how am I supposed to do all this? And for all those who have moved before, I'm sure most military personnel have moved so many times, and you know the pain. So you know my pain, and all that has to come. That comes to be when you're moving, when you're selling, when you're doing all this stuff. So squirreling, as much as it's almost like I'm itching to jump out of my skin sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, I just don't want to do this anymore, right? You can't. You have to stay on track. You have to stay on point. You have to stay on task, and you have to be present. Man, that's been tough. So I've learned a few things. A few weeks ago, I shared about slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? And this sort of goes hand in hand. So because if you're doing your task, you should do it slowly, right? Not in like motion of being slow, but in the present. You're making sure you know what you're doing and you're doing things correctly. So this goes hand in hand, because if you're present and you're not scrolling, you're paying attention. So oftentimes, even when I'm staying on task, when I'm like, oh, squirrel, just for a few seconds, things could go wrong. I think I remember sharing a experience where I ran my head into the corner of one of those plastic bins, and I ended up having like this bruise on my eyebrow. Good thing that my eyebrow hid most of the discoloration, but it was for a split second. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, I was rushing around. I wasn't present. My mind is constantly filled with all kinds of voices. Like, no, I'm not schizophrenic. So for all those, but man, I'm thinking about, what am I going to eat for dinner? Those voices, like, oh my God, I have that to do. And I'm not focusing on this thing on hand. So that's in a way of scrolling too, right? You're constantly letting other things pull you away from what you are currently doing. So it covers a lot of things. You could be like with my fur baby just going, one of the most terrifying sounds ever. If you hear it at night, you're like, no, don't do it. Like stuff like that. It can get you to scroll. You're like, God, what am I going to do? And you I don't know, you rush them out of the door or whatever you're doing. And then guess what? You're deviating from what you're doing. I'm not saying don't make sure they're okay, but that's scrolling in a way, right? And a lot of times when we let things take us out of what we're currently doing, we fail to come back to what we were originally doing, to finish it, to complete it, only to remember later, like, oh my God, I was supposed to do this. Oh God, I didn't do it. Now you're in a rush. So going back to the sharing, why I'm sharing this is that I'm moving. This is a period of transition. But, to be honest, it doesn't have to be a transition period for you. It can just be a daily thing, because I battle this on a daily basis. But I find it extremely disruptive when I really have time constraints and time sensitive issues that I need to deal with. And to scroll like that, it just drives me insane, because I'm like, I have to now rush to do the other things. And it's been a long lesson, guys. And I'm finally getting the hang of it. I didn't do this until recently. I tried it before. This is the trick. I say it's a trick, but it's really just a simple thing that you can do that most people neglect to do. I've actually shared it with other people. They're like, no, I don't need to do that. I have it all in my mind. I know exactly what I need to do, which for some people that may be true, but for me, it isn't. If you're like me, this one thing will help. And this one thing is to make lists. All right. I'm not talking about you make a list at the beginning of the week of all the things, right, you think you're going to do. I have grown to, excuse me, guys, it is really like allergy season and I just want to scratch my face off. So forgive me. So I've learned to make a list every morning as I'm sipping my coffee at 0:30, because that's when I get up. I run through, like, consciously think, okay, what do I need to do today? And then I write them down as detailed as possible. And if I remember something later that's still within the feasible time of that, whatever is left of the day, I will write it down. And I will consciously go through each task to do it. And I'm not talking about writing down only the things like I need to, like, only important, what you quote unquote as important or determine as important. I write down everything. I write down, okay, I need to do breathing exercises. I need to work out. I need to cook. I need to sweep the floor. I need to do this, like, down to the nitty gritty. Because as much as I thought I learned, when I started these lists, what I did was put the big things down. Like, I need to call a realtor. I need to find movers or stuff like that, right? But then I would neglect all the little things that I have to do along the way to facilitate the big things. So, and only to realize it later, I'm like, oh my God, I should have done it like yesterday. I forgot. And I look at my list, like, I didn't put it down. So now it has been extremely helpful to me to write down everything. Like, for those who are in the Marine Corps, it is literally breaking it down Barney style. Like, when we went to boot camp, the drill instructors like, put on your left sock, put on your right sock, put on your put on your shoes, and they would go left, right, and down to the every move. And it seems excessive in the moment, but man, when you're pressed for time, when you have a million things coming at you already, your mind tends to be overwhelmed, and you're like, it's easy to forget. So it's not like there's something wrong with you, because there's so many things you need to keep track of. And for those who say it's all in my head, I get it all. I don't doubt that some of you have that great talent, and I wish I did, but I don't. And I'm willing to bet there's a lot of us out here who do not have that talent, who have been sold, I can keep it all in my mind, it's fine. It just because you don't want to write it down. It seems like it's somewhat elementary, or like, I don't need to do something like that. It's so stupid. And then you kick yourself later because you didn't do something that could have been very easy to do in the moment that was also important, right? So now every morning I write things down, and I'll cross it off as I go. And don't get me wrong when I say that everything I write down, I think I need to do some things, but as the day progresses, it may change, and I don't get to cross off every single one all the time, because some other things took a little bit longer, and or you find that what you wrote down for that day didn't need to be done right then and there. It could be pushed a little bit farther down the road, but you keep that in mind. Like, you just keep moving it to the next block, until it has to be done, right? But don't procrastinate too much. So that helps me. But it doesn't, I'm not saying making a list will remove all the issues of you scrolling. Because even when I make the list, because I don't have the list with me. I don't have the list right now. I wish I did. Oftentimes, I think I remember what I put on my list, and I'm doing things and just doing things, right? I'm like, I know I put this down, and I'm doing things. And I go and look at my list. I'm like, oh, I didn't do that at all. I didn't write that at all. So that's, in a way, scrolling. You should, once you're done with a task, as soon as possible, you should go back and cross it off. However you want to eliminate that task off of your list, go and take it out, right? And then check again to see what you need to do. Make adjustments. It's fine. Like right now, right before I came to record this, I went outside to spray for weeds, right? That was an addition that I had added this morning. So I had written down to record this podcast beforehand, but then I added the spraying for weeds. And when I went out to spray for weeds, I'm like, oh my God, I have to do the recording. So in a way, I felt rushed to spray the weeds. I felt a little anxious, because even though I needed to do the weeds, I also needed to do this. It was because it wasn't in my original layout. Once I put it in, it almost in my consciousness, it created sort of a bottlenecking. So I literally had to talk myself down from getting anxious, like, oh my God, I need to hurry, I need to hurry, I need to hurry. I had to go back to what I was sharing with you guys weeks before, to be present. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I consciously told myself, I think I even said it out loud when I was outside. I'm like, you have to do this. If you don't do this, it's gonna get worse. Like, if you don't spray for weeds, guess what? There's more weeds that come up. Like, so take the time now. It's not like you're in a hurry. Yes, you feel like you need to go record this podcast right now, but you don't need to. It's okay. It's only a few minutes difference anyways. So just do what you need to do. And although I was still feeling that sort of angst and that disruption of time, I finished my task at hand and then got up here as soon as I could to record this, which I'm grateful for. So just because you make a list doesn't mean that you don't have also to be conscious in battling your mind's need to squirrel, right? Because there's so many distractions now. I find that when I'm doing things, like sometimes I really want to listen to something, listen to the radio, listen to, I don't know, I'm on YouTube a lot, finding things to listen to. And I recently canceled my subscription. So it's not just a long, list of whatever videos I'm watching that just keep going. But every time that the advertisement comes on, I squirrel. I'm like, oh, let me skip this. Or I sit there and I wait for the advertisement to be over to skip it, right? And I find that I waste so much time. I waste so much time doing that. I think I consciously do it to create these distractions. Like, well, I have to go and press that skip button, or else I'm going to be listening to these crazy, stupid advertisements all the time. I just don't want to. Whatever happened to waiting, right? It's a lost art for me because I'm always scrolling. I can't even stay on task. So yeah, so that's one of the ways I scroll all the time. Or I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm not really hungry. I'm just looking to get out of the task that I'm doing. And man, it is hard to do. So for all of you guys who are like me, who wants a squirrel, like in my mind, I want a squirrel right now. I'm thinking about doing other stuff that I need to do, which is crazy. Even while I'm talking to you about this, my mind it's chasing down squirrels, guys. And so, yes, the list does help. I find it helps me to hold myself accountable, because one of the things, it's not just about making the list to keep yourself on track, right? I found a sort of, I think only adults could appreciate it, or very mature people, that when I look at my list at the end of the day, like, oh, look, I got all these things done. And sometimes I surprise myself by staying on task and getting all these things done ahead of the schedule. And in my also scrolliness, I'm like, oh, well, look, I can do more. I assume that I can do more. And sometimes I bite off more than I can chew. That's one thing I've also learned, that create your list, a doable list, right? An achievable list. And once you're done, learn to be done. I'm not saying if you got all your stuff done, within the first 2-3 hours of the day, like, that's it, I'm done. And then you don't make use of the rest of the day. You can do that. But if you're really close, you're like an hour off from when you usually stop and whatever, let it be. You don't always have to keep on piling to the list either, because that makes your list never ending. And that in a way creates this like, oh my God, I'm never done. So in a way, when you give yourself a list, you do what you need to do, and you give yourself little breaks in between, it gives you a breather consciously and unconsciously. So you're not burning yourself down. You give yourself enough break and enough rewards that you don't feel exhausted the next day to start. Because guess what, guys? Adulting, it's never ending. So don't add to what a never ending list anyways. Have one list for today, have another one for tomorrow, and do it every day like this. And you'd be surprised what you can accomplish. Right? What is that phrase? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And those little bites might seem like, oh my God, I mean, I'm only doing so little, but they do add up. It might seem slow at first, but it can become exponential, right? Depending on what you're doing. It goes slow, and then it will arc up to the point, because the more you do, the more you see progress, the more you do. And that's self-motivation too, that I found. So, I don't know what you guys are doing right now. I don't know how many things are on your to-do list and what's going on in your life that you're like, oh my God, I just have a million things. I don't even know where to begin. Make a list. Start somewhere. If you have a million things to do and you don't know where to begin, anywhere you start is a good start, right? I think a Marine Corps general once said, I think this is during World War II or Korea or something, looks like we're surrounded on all sides. It's something great. He's something to the point where now we don't have to figure out where to attack. We can attack anywhere. Sorry, guys, I'm really bad at remembering quotes, especially in the moment. I know the concept, but so don't quote me. But somebody said it. I'm pretty sure it was the Marine Corps general. So there you go. Wisdom from here, from the one who likes the squirrel. But in that way, I think calm yourself to the point where you can make a list each day, things that you want to accomplish, you need to accomplish, and stick to it. Go back to that list. Hold on to the list if you need to. Keep it close to you. I should have kept it close to me today, but usually I'm in. I do have it pretty close, so I keep checking on it. But every task you accomplish, cross it off. I swear, I know it's on paper, but once you cross it off and you just did it, you feel lighter. You feel better. You're like, oh, that's one less thing I had to worry about. And you just move on to the next one as quickly as possible. Remember to be conscious. Remember to be present, right? And stay on task and keep doing what you're doing and finish it. Don't leave things unfinished unless it is a progressive thing. Like, there's no way I can move today. Like, I can clean, I can do this, I can do that, but cleaning and maintaining the house for a showing is a constant thing. So I can't finish it today. It has to be every day. So keep that in mind. But and once you're done with your list, be done with it. Go do something relaxing. Go squirrel. Go chase down your squirrels. Maybe, I don't know, games or watching TV, or I don't know, walking your fur babies, whatever. Go squirrel. Give yourself a chance to, I don't know, be mindless. But yes, those lists do help, but you have to hold yourself accountable. You can make a million lists, and if you never start doing what's on your list, or don't follow your list, it's not useful. So you have to apply it. Whatever things I'm sharing with you guys, it's just what I found helpful. But accountability and being responsible for your actions and what you choose to do, that's the most important thing. Because, there's all kinds of people that say all kinds of things and never come through. Especially those people like, yeah, no, I'll be there to help you. You're like, cricket, whatever you needed help, where are they, right? So first, be accountable to yourself. Then make those lists to help you stay on point, stay on task. So even if you do scroll, there's points you can come back to check where you are on your list or on what you need to do, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, it's been helpful, and I'm training my squirreliness to be within time frames, right? Or to be contained where I can catch myself in my mind trying to deviate, because I can feel it now. There's almost a tipping point. You're like, oh, and you want to go off, but now I notice it more. Instead of following this pull, there seems to be a second or a few seconds where I have the control to either go with the scrolling, or stay on task. It's not always easy because I'm always chasing squirrels and I still do it. But with this list and holding myself accountable and staying on task as much as possible, and also because I have to, I found that I've achieved a lot more than I would be able to if I kept these lists in my head and like, I know what to do. And, having a list telling me exactly what to do, even to cook or do this and that, is so childish. Fine, I'm okay with it. I'm not a smart person. I'm willing to do things Barney style. I will do it step by step, left, right. If that's what it takes, then that's what I'm willing to do. And hopefully you'll find that once you start this sort of journey, you might not need it all the time. I probably will. And I probably will keep it up because it keeps me grounded too. So I don't know. You guys might not need to do this for long. But I think because I benefited so much from it, I'm going to keep on doing this. Even after transitioning and moving and all this stuff. So I can hold myself accountable and also see what I achieved each day. So anyways, I'm going to go squirrel. Kidding. I have a long list of things to do. I'm going to go continue on my crossing off tasks on my list. So this was one of them. Guys, you have no idea how hard it's been for me not to scratch my face. That's one of the scrolling things. It's like allergy season. So just expressing to you that I've consciously fought myself this whole time not to scratch my face and be all distracted by my allergies. I really appreciate you guys being here. And, I hope what I share helps somebody, anybody. And I pray for you guys all the time. Please take care of yourself. So until next time, in a couple of weeks, right? So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us, giving our veterans a voice.